We are the restaurant brokers, and we sell restaurants.
We started the nation's largest restaurant brokerage firm over a decade ago.
Atlanta, Georgia was our starting point, but our brand is spreading nationwide. We define restaurant brokerage and help buyers just like these.
Our dream, our goal, open up a restaurant, loving life, serving people breakfast and lunch, and then enjoying the rest of the day with them and ourselves.
Buying an existing restaurant, leasing a closed restaurant space, or purchasing a restaurant franchise. We help buyers satisfy their appetite for acquisition.
I'm part of a husband and wife team with this fella.
Working with my wife has been a lot of fun. The ultimate goal for everybody here is to make this work. And because we have different strengths, we bring different angles to the deal.
The process begins with our powerhouse website, WeSellRestaurants.com, where buyers sign online confidentiality agreements and browse restaurants for sale.
Then we send buyers undercover to check out a restaurant and decide if it's the right one for them.
Buyers get our proprietary business analysis tool with all the financial details on the business for sale.
After studying the restaurant inside and out, it's back to our office.
We're deal makers. We write contracts and negotiate terms for buyers and sellers. That's why we sell more restaurants than any other firm in the nation. We are the restaurant brokers. Our name says it all. That sound means you're back on the air with the restaurant brokers, Eric and Robin Gagnon. Today we have been talking with chefs from the hit TV show Chopped. And I tell you what, that is reality at its finest, Eric. They are really taking it on the chin, going on national TV, laying it all out there and competing against it. You know what surprised me? I didn't know all the trash talk was going on between the chefs. I guess some folks try to psych the other ones out.
I guess so. They must be editing that part because, like we've learned today, it's a whole day affair. You know, we see it in 30 minutes, pretty much of action. But yeah, there's a lot of trash talking. Seems like a lot of pressure. It's a different environment for them, and somehow they quickly adapt. You listen to Anna Maria today. She said, you know, hey, took me a couple of minutes here. I kind of panicked, then back to business. You know, so there's a lot to learn about that.
And from a restaurant reality standpoint, because that's the segment we're in now, how do those lessons apply? I mean, I think a couple of things really sort of ring true for me. First of all, these guys are risk takers. They're so brave because they are going in to a kitchen with a basket of ingredients. They don't know what it is. I mean, one guy said, I didn't know if it was going to be some unnamed animal brain that I was going to be dealing with, or, you know, maybe it's gummy bears. So they have these ingredients, and so they have the pressure of trying to put something together totally on the fly. Then you've got this clock ticking, and you have a very, very short window to deal with. Then you have your competitors potentially trash talking, and it sounds like a lot of that happens. Then you have the judges. I guess the one guy said, I was terrified to burn anything because the judges are almost like they're over there watching, heckling you, and then you've got microphones stuck in your face and TV cameras. You know, just sitting here thinking about all of it, my blood pressure is raising. And, you know, going in the restaurant business is a lot like that. You got to be willing and able to take the pressure every single night because if the customers come in, that demand is out there, and you got to rise to the challenge.
I was just about to say that. That sounds like a restaurant, and only the names have been changed. I mean, this is what it sounds like. If you listen to this carefully and weed out through the fun and the drama we heard today, stress, drama, have a strategy. I mean, how many of you open restaurants says, I got good meatballs, I'm going to have a meatball restaurant? That's not a strategy. That's an idea. So you have to have a strategy. Will there be stress? Every single day. That's what keeps people going, especially people in the kitchen. These chefs, they said, we love that pressure. We love that juice is flowing through you, and very quickly, even on national television, they find ways to get to the final, to win it, or something. So the chef that you have in your kitchen, your cooking team, they should have that adrenaline, that passion, and that drive every single service that you're having, you know.
And that idea that you're trash talking your competitor down the street, he's definitely going to be trash talking you. And you've got the hecklers, whether they're online or sending food back through the doors.
You're exactly right. Will there be drama? Somebody won't show up for work one day. Somebody will quit in the middle of a shift. Absolutely. It's going to happen in every restaurant. If you have a restaurant that you never happened to you, please contact us, and we want to put you on the show and hear about that. But, you know, you have to be determined to win. Yeah. Whether it's winning Chop or winning your local market, winning the hearts of the diners, you know, is it a detriment of talking trash to your your restaurants down the street? That may not be the right solution, but if you're determined to win, to get great service and great food, and be creative and get that passion to transpire through your service and your food, people will come back. Guests will keep coming back.
I know, and I think the other thing that's kind of intriguing is that all three of these guys, I mean, they admit it was a pressure cooker. Anna Maria in particular, she didn't even put herself up for it. One of her guests put her up for the show, and she said she really had to think about it, but now she's recognized in the grocery store when she goes shopping. Her business has caught fire. I mean, she just gets so much traffic out of it. All three of them, bar none, said, I would do it again. So that's probably the biggest lesson for a restaurateur. Can you face that fear, come through the other side, and say, yeah, I'm going to take this. It's going to make me bigger, bolder, stronger, better. And you got to be willing to fail a little bit, because coming in second on Chopped is not so shabby.
That's right. Because, I mean, if you think about it, like we heard today, sometimes you cannot prepare. Well, that's going to happen also in the life of a restaurant. Sometimes you cannot prepare. Expect the unexpected. You know, the delivery truck came. It's Friday, and they were late. There was some kind of issues, and it's 5 o'clock on Friday. You can't stuff your stuff back, and dinner service starts in an hour. People will be in your dining room. You know, you got to adapt. You have to expect the unexpected. What do you do about it? You know, we heard Chef Brandon talking about he went on Shop Redemption. Sometimes redemption can be your friend. Sometimes a restaurant may make mistakes as well, but if you can redeem yourself, reinvent yourself, recreate some things, and turn a negative into a positive, that could be a great victory. So don't give up and just say, well, you know, we're just not cut up for this, or we're just going to fold. You have to fight. I mean, you have to be competitive, and that's very important in every single restaurant, whether you're a sandwich shop on the street corner or the biggest steak and seafood house in your area.
I think that is so true, and I love that idea of redemption, because there are folks who come to us to buy their second, third, or fourth restaurant. That doesn't mean their second, third, or fourth operating restaurant. Sometimes that means their second, third, or fourth because the first four actually failed. But they said, I love this business. I'm made for this business. I have a passion for it. I'm staying in the game. And the way I'm going to stay in the game is reinvent myself and go out for redemption. And then that fourth or fifth one is a charm. And we're talking celebrity chefs that have been down that path. I
was about to say that. I mean, you know, some people say, well, I have a small budget. You know, these big guys, if I just have the money that the big players have. Well, I can tell you, Tom Colicchio, some craft restaurants have closed. Wolfgang Puck closed several restaurants. Emerald's closed several restaurants. So it's not about success and failure in that matter. It's to know when it's time that this is not going to work and we need to move on, but you get to live to fight another day. And that's what's important. So do not, like, sometimes get your emotion or the best of you, keep doubling down until you are bankrupt or your credit is ruined and everything like that. Make a move. Look at your strategy. It may not be what you want, but there is options out there that get you, because if your passion is food and restaurant, then don't give that up. Try to make that dream intact that you can go again. How many people we know, Robin, like you said, have 3, 4, 5 restaurants, and they say, you know what, this one's a winner. My 5 other one were just, you know, tweaking projects that failed.
I have to tell you another thing that I thought that was very interesting, because Brandon said, you know, you watch it on TV and you see these guys hands shaking. I mean, that's just such a visible symptom of the stress, and you think, oh no, that wouldn't happen to me. But having that willingness to really put yourself out there, test your absolute limits. Say, I'm going for broke. I believe in this. I'm so passionate about it. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm going to make it happen. That's the stuff that sets the adrenaline through your body and gets those hands shaking. And there are moments in every entrepreneur's life, whether it's the restaurant industry or any kind of business, where you're doing that gut check and that those butterflies are there. And you know what? The ones that succeed are the ones that fight through it and get on the other side and then look back and say, hey, I did this. It was pretty special. It was pretty amazing. It paid off for me personally. It built me as an individual. It built a source of wealth for my family. So that's pretty special too.
I think what I looked at today, when I look at all three of these great chefs today, they were professionals. All of them were professional. They were focused. When they got right a little bit, they focused back in there. They managed their time. They're under the clock, but that's also something you have to do in your restaurant. You know, they produce quality food. They had put something on a plate that was appealing. They've done all these little things that needs to be done every day in your restaurant, and they did this in a very short period of time. So that's also something important to remember. You have to be professional. You have to be focused. You got to manage your time. You know, if you have an hour wait in your restaurant, how do we get that off? How do we get that? How do we maintain the quality and not having things undercook, overcook, inconsistent from one day to another? So it's the same thing that they did in a day that people do in a lifetime in restaurants, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And I tell you, I think you could probably spend an hour talking about the bravery of folks that enter this business. But that's just about all the time we have today for We Sell Restaurants. I want to invite you to visit our website. That's at WeSellRestaurants.com, WeSell restaurants with an S.com. We are the largest restaurant brokerage company in the nation based on the number of listings, transaction count, and volume. We are franchising nationwide. If you are interested in our brand, we would love to talk further with you. You can reach out to us at WeSellRestaurants.com.